Look, the problem no one talks about is this. You're drowning in opportunities that look shiny and safe, but they're built on the same tired models, the same saturated markets where everyone is chasing the same scraps. You're up against endless noise, slow growth, margins squeezed to the bone. It's exhausting, right? Meanwhile, you're itching to deploy capital smarter, faster, bolder. But where do you actually put your money without running straight into the same traps everyone else stumbles into? The answer's staring you in the face, but everyone's too stuck in their comfort zones to see it. Emerging markets. Now hold up. Emerging markets sound risky, complicated, messy. You think about governance issues, weak infrastructure, unstable currencies, yeah, all that. But here's the brutal truth. Nobody says loud enough. That's exactly where the edge is. That mess, it's not a wall, it's a door, and the people who run toward it instead of away from it will rewrite the rules. You don't get outsized returns by playing safe in overhyped, crowded spaces. You get them by owning the chaos, by mastering what others are afraid to touch. The markets where systems aren't rigid yet, where new patterns form daily, that's where capital isn't just deployed, it's multiplied. But let's get one thing straight. This is not about throwing money blindly at cheap labor or fast growth like some naive VC. You've got to be surgical. You must find the sectors where real change is brewing. Fintech tearing down decades-old banking monopolies, renewable energy leaps bending global climate timelines, digital health transforming access, and infrastructures finally scaling, unchained from outdated restrictions. You have to dig deeper than surface narratives, meet founders who aren't playing safe, who think 5 moves ahead because they have to, in environments demanding brutal adaptability. Align with those who innovate, not despite chaos, but because of it. Here's the real kicker though. If you're still looking for traditional guarantees, you're already losing. Emerging markets reward not the cautious, but the relentless. You've got to build real partnerships on the ground, get your hands messy in local ecosystems, listen more than you speak, and back founders who move fast and break things, not those who want a seat at the old boys' table. Forget risk mitigation as a checkbox. It's about dynamic risk management, spotting patterns that outsiders miss because they don't have boots on the ground. Capital deployment here demands being fully present, adaptive, and frankly obsessed with understanding local dynamics better than the locals themselves. And don't buy the myth that emerging markets are just a one-way bet on growth. You want a portfolio that's immune to global shocks? Diversify with these markets as your secret weapon. When US or European markets stumble, emerging markets can roar. You're not just chasing faster growth, you're creating a hedge that's alive, breathing, raw, and uncorrelated with the slow decay of the usual suspects. Most investors freeze at the first sign of complexity. That's why capital still flows like molasses into safe, boring places. You're not most. You're the person who sees what others refuse to see, who moves early and moves hard, who connects the dots before they form. Boundless capital deployment isn't a dream. It's right there if you're brutal enough to chase it. Deploy your capital where it can't just grow, but explode. Go beyond borders, not by ignoring differences, but by mastering them. Emerging markets will test you harder than anything else you've faced. They'll frustrate you, isolate you, make you pissed off at inefficiency and chaos, but every second in that fire is your edge. Own that frustration, turn that anger into clarity. You want the future of capital? It's in the places everyone else fears to look. Stop waiting for permission. Start making moves where the real work and the real reward is waiting. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit the featured link to discover more.